Hi everybody, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and I am doing a haul video for you guys. And this is from my trip to Hillsville, Virginia, where we did the big flea market that is every Labor Day weekend. So we just basically did one day, but I got some really cool things. We also popped into a couple of antique shops in the area as well. So anyway, I've got some fun things to show you, and we'll get started. So I got a couple of bags of ribbon, and I'm thinking again holidays, but there are some really fun, look at the purple on that, fun pieces. I put a different bag down here on the floor, so after we look at them, I can toss them in. Oh my gosh, I love this. There's a pin there. Oh look, I never thought to use, am I the only one that didn't think to use toilet paper rolls to do your ribbon? I never thought of such a thing, but look, it keeps all the little ruffles nice. Well, if you guys have been doing this forever and you're like, no, Pam, that's a thing, tell me, because I've not ever seen it. It's kind of a good idea, though, isn't it? Okay, cute red ruffle ribbon. Here's some that has some pretty gold. So we're just going to kind of look at them. This one hasn't even been used. And I'll tell you a little more about our trip, and I'm not even quite sure. Look at this. Oh, it looks like they were starting to crochet with it. Wow. It's very thin. Let's see. It says 3¼ inch pearl. So they're knitting, I guess, saying what they were doing. At one point, this was 25 cents. Isn't that crazy? It's very thin and fine. Some more with purple. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I don't do a lot of haul videos. Wow, this is stuff like not like that I have. So I think I'll be able to stretch a little out of my comfort zone, but also do some fun bedazzling at Christmas with my Christmas crafts. Look at this. It looks like they put someone years ago, maybe you could buy it like this at the store. Wow, Lion Ribbon Company. Well, that is a lovely little sample. Maybe I could make some like that. That's a really good idea. So anyway, I don't do a ton of haul videos, but I have gotten, my husband and I love to yard sale, flea market. Oh, on a paper towel roll. Somebody loved their ribbon collection, you guys. Beautiful for Christmas. That's what this one grabbed my attention. But anyway, so I'm doing that. And another thing I'm going to do in this video is show you guys, this is like velvet, you know. It says it's completely waterproof, so we can use it outside. Is I put together, I'll look for Valentine's Day or just hearts, some sample packs for my Etsy shop. And so I've used things from my stash. This is a gorgeous thin velvet. And there's a variety of vintage papers, like book pages and from some of the magazines and things. Sheet music. There's a little bit of fabric. Wow, that is a bright yellow, isn't it? I'll really have to stretch out of my comfort zone. If somebody has an idea of what to do with this or make with this, let me know. I guess if it's like springy or summer or maybe lemonade or something like that, this would be cute. Anyway, buttons. So I'm going to show you what the samplers look like. I made 8 of them. We will see how they do. And then I'll probably do some other varieties because I still have a lot of things in my stash that I can share. I won't be able to use all by myself. These are gorgeous. I didn't really put ribbon in these samplers because I've been doing some fun vintage ribbon samplers. So I will probably do some different samplers for you guys because between the 2 trips, look at that. It's glass beaded ribbon, cross-locked, sew by hand by machine or with glue. Huh. So anyway, let me know what you're most interested in, or if you like both ideas, and let me know. So let me show you a few more things, and then I'll show you what those are gonna look, what they look like, and I will have them in my Etsy shop before this video goes live for you. Okay, so I have some more ribbon too, but let's look at a couple of the books that I got. I have quite a large book collection, so I have not been buying as many books recently. However, a few caught my eye that I was like, okay, these are coming home with me. This one, I like these larger sizes, as you guys know, for like one-page wonders and to make embellishments with, but I've never had a book with paper this color, okay? Now, there's a lot of photo pages, but there's quite a bit, and it has this almost crafty, it's not quite as thick as a cardstock. Oh my gosh, this paper I am so excited about. So we will be making a project with this paper soon. I haven't chopped up the book at all yet. Let's see, Grand Design. I was looking to see if there was a date. Looks like the publication, the first publication, it looks like was 1928. This one looks like it's a 1976 edition. Anyway, very excited about that. And then look here, the story of Miss Moppet. A little, and it has quite a bit of damage. Ooh, I didn't see the mold there when I picked it up. So I was excited. I will get this cleaned up, and we will probably have to trim off anywhere when I use these. But I was hoping I'd be able to use the cover for a journal. I'm going to have to do some research and find out about that. That's too bad. But there she is. Is there a date on her? She had been in a library. Look at these images. Oh my gosh. Copyright, blah, blah, blah. Printed in Great Britain. At one point in 1974, someone was selling it for $1.79. There's not a date. I don't know. I think the only way to be able to use it would be to break it apart, but I don't know. It kind of makes me sad. Okay, I'm going to set that over there to get cleaned up. Oh, so this book really excited me. It's about crewel embroidery. And again, I just think this is going to be some great book page to craft with. I also like the size of the cover if I wanted to make a larger journal. And then I got these music books, and they are for church. Sorry, they're not like where I went to church. We had large ones, and these are smaller, and I don't know if it's because of the time, 1973. I mean, I've been going to church my whole life, and I've never seen ones this size, so I'm not sure if there was a particular denomination or church that used this, but yeah, this is going to be so much fun to craft with. So, all right, some Mozart music. I love sheet music. Okay, and then this is a little child's magazine book kind of thing, and it's again, Bible stories. Love it. Love the illustrations, the colors. Let's see, was there a date on here? It says it's copyrighted 1926, and then it looks like, again, 1943. So I think this is 1943, if I'm looking at that correctly. Another hymn book, and it has some fun illustrations. So that was exciting. Like I said, I decided I was getting ones that I just thought were extra special. This one, again, the paper, just the size of the paper, it is sewn, so I'm going to be able to take it apart and use the full spreads. And it's thick. I don't think it's too fragile, creamy. Oh, love it. So those were exciting. Oh gosh. I hope I didn't mess up my camera. I'm going to double check it here in a second. All right. Those are heavy. Let's see if we're all still doing okay. I don't know. That's maybe a little better. Okay, then I got into, I've never seen these before. Gosh, I'm just all over the place. And I found one. Let me find the one that I found that I was like, oh my gosh. Because I don't do like a lot of crafting with car imagery, but I do some. And my husband loves cars, and I do like to make, you know, more masculine arts. Was it this one? No. Well, I do love these illustrations. Look at that. And I like the size of, this is a photograph. I like the size of the book. This was 1968. I don't know what year that one was. Okay, this is 1968. This is the one. Let's see. There's another. Wow, look at that photo. I don't know who these people are, but that's interesting. Came in the book. Look. Oh, yeah, I freaked out. I was like, these are stunning. So 1912, 1908. So they're just illustrations, and the colors. Oh my gosh, I can get so much inspiration for these, like for paper kits, you know, using that color palette. Anyway, these are fun. They're going to be fun to add into journals and just give it a little bit different look. So anyway, I found these, well, I found this one. I decided I'm going to get this one because the guy had it priced at $5 at the flea market. I'm like, you know, for a book I'm going to tear up, that's quite a bit. And then he was like, well, don't you want the other two? And I'm like, no, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I ended up getting all three for $8. And I thought, oh, you know, that's a great deal, right? Well, then, and it wasn't bad. But then I got into a shop in Hillsville, and they have more of these, the sets of them. In the boxes, Automobile Quarterly, and 4 are in here for $5. So I got 4 for $5. Now, none of them have the illustrations like that one really special one. But again, I feel like I'm going to be able to do something with these interesting, and I'm going to have fun. So the size of the pages, the card covers, if I want to cover those and use them for something else, or if I want to make a journal for a man that likes cars, there you go, right? Okay, let me take a break from the haul, and I'm going to show you what I have put together for my sample packs that are going to be in Etsy. Now, this is how I'm going to ship it. It's going to come in an envelope like this. A lot of times I will put everything that's in it in like a clear cellophane bag. I don't have a clear cellophane bag. These are waterproof though. So they're gonna come just like this. If I can find the right piece of cardboard or something, I may put a piece back here, but I just wanna be clear. This is how it's gonna be shipped, and hopefully it will arrive safely. But again, this is for junk journaling. It's to have some materials maybe that you don't have access to and you'd like to try and play with from my personal stash, okay? Now, I've made 8. And like I said, if I make more, they'll be a little different, so I'll show those to you. But each one has some kind of doily that I got on my trip to the 127 yard sale. So let me just show you a sample of the kinds that might be in, you know, some are a little bit bigger. This one is particularly nice, but it does have one little place. I washed it. So, you know, they're a little bit different, and you're just going to get a random one. So I did want you to see that those are a little bit different. I think that's 7 of them because I didn't take the one that I've already put in the package out. But there is a doily. There is a bag of buttons, a variety. Again, I just did a scoop. I didn't pick through and try to make sure, you know, they were, you know, all a certain type or anything. It's just a variety of buttons. Everyone really seemed to like the owl wire ribbon, so I put a length of that in, and then a length of this. I don't even know. These are about 15 inches. Yeah, approximately. Okay. So there's those 2 pieces again for layering, collaging, making pretty things. And then everybody got a rough cut of this. And again, they're all a little different. Some has some staining, some different things, see? But again, for layering, adding to a collage or a page, I just thought that would be fun. The whole piece of this, I think, was like $7 or $8. And I cut it into 9 pieces. So I cut a piece for myself and then did a rough cut in each one. And here's a piece of upholstery fabric, again, that they're all approximately the size. It might be a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, but it has some of the really pretty florals that are vintagey. A little strip of snippet. This is from those library cards, and I just put one of the dividers in there. I thought you guys might like that. It's really thick. You can use it for something. And then each one has either a I think 7 of them have teddy bears and 1 has a little gingerbread paper doll thing. So I guess if you want to make it into a paper doll, you can glue them like that and then do something, or you could use them glued down in some way. I put 2 little bags from my stash, and a lot of people really liked these, but they said they don't want to buy them in bulk, so I added a couple. Everybody has some kind of postcard from this set, and then another postcard from another set. This is an architectural drawings. And then from this book, I added 5 pieces, and they're pretty fragile, so that's something you would want to reinforce. An envelope, a piece of that navy paper that I love to craft with. And then I got into my doll book, and everybody got a full spread, okay, each one of that. It's one of my gardening books. Some have the florals that are in color. This one didn't, but a page of that. A page of that packing paper. One of the large flat envelopes that you can buy in bulk, but I thought some people want to try it and play with it before they commit to a larger purchase. Okay, a piece of music from a music book. Lovely color, again, somewhat fragile. And then I got into my vintage wrapping paper. A couple pieces of that. This is another double spread from a cooking magazine. This is from one of my ledger books. I did fold it in half. It does crack. This is great to layer it, but it is fragile. And then a double layer. Again, I can't promise, exactly, but this one has a little hole there, but of vintage map. And then this is going to have to be folded to fit into the envelope, but there's a variety of these. They're from my Wizard of Oz paper doll book, and unfortunately I am going to fold these in half. Don't cry. It will still be usable and fun, but I am trying to keep the shipping down a little bit. And just to put it in perspective, right now, shipping, if anything, orders over $35 in my Etsy shop, ship free. And so that's great. And I know people really appreciate free shipping, but it does cost me, depending on where you are in the United States, anywhere from about $4.88 and the size of the package, of course, right? That's for kind of my smaller packages, to $7 or $8. And so, I have to try to be a little economical. The other thing is the envelopes, even, that I just put them in. I try to buy them in bulk as much as I can, but there's a cost to that. So anyway, there's just a cost to all of that. So it's sometimes hard to decide and to price. I could have kept going and made this sampler larger, but I wanted to keep it a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller price point. So these are going to be in my Etsy shop for $35, and that's with free shipping, okay? So I hope if that's of interest to you, you will go take a look. If you have ideas of other samplers you'd like to see, or if you'd like me to try to do a little bit different price point, I don't want to make some that are too small. It's a lot of work, putting them together. So if I'm only going to, after all the fees and the shipping and all of that, if I'm only going to make, $4. I have to decide, you know, if that's going to work or not. So, but give me your ideas, share, let me know. Let's go back to the haul. It will be fun. I will link the link to these. And again, you're just going to get, if you decide to buy one or two, whatever, I'm just going to grab one. Okay. But they're very similar. The pages and things are from the same books and stuff. Okay, let's see what's in this bag, and then I will go back maybe to some more ribbon. So I haven't even opened this up yet, and I completely understand why people staple their Ziplocs together, because they don't want people's dirty hands getting on them and opening them. So we're just gonna cut that open and look. I'm excited. It's like Christmas. Okay, a pretty, I would say this is more of a tea towel size. It's thin, it's been embroidered, so pretty. Another piece of crocheted piece. Oh my goodness, look at those apples. These are napkins. Love it. And then here's some where it looks like they stenciled an apple. That's an applique, or it looks like it was machine. Yeah, machine done. I don't know. How cute is that? All right. Okay, so apples, and here's one with like a little flower. What is this? This looks like a valance. Yeah, but we'll be able to do something fun with this. Okay. Lots of different pieces to look at. And then this looks like just some triangles. Probably someone was quilting or doing a project. Making something. You know, I saw quite a few of those bowl cozies. And maybe that's what they're making with these. There's another piece, and then I guess you can use it to put your bowl in, like if you have a bowl of soup or something. I don't know. But I saw people had made a bunch of those in some of the handmade places. So, okay, let me put this pile there. So I didn't get, well, again, I was only there one day. I didn't get as many fabrics as I did when I was on my other trip. But, you know, again, I tried to be selective and get things that I just thought were really special for fall. Isn't that pretty? And around the edge, they've sewn on some crocheted ribbon. I love the yellow. And here's a, I think it's a pillowcase. Is it pillowcases? Look at the purple. That's actually would be pretty. Ooh, yuck. Someone's hair, not mine. Would be pretty with the new Pink Monarch prints kit for this month. It has some of the purples and lavenders. In fact, I may keep that out and see what I can come up with that. A doily. Look at this one. Love it. Oh, I just love the edge. And this one was different too. The shape and the color of it. And this looks like some fat quarters. These little vintage looking kids are cute. Nice, and this one's nice and thick. All right. So I'm definitely going to be working to incorporate, you know, I love paper, but I really am intrigued by all the journals and people that have all the shabby chic, which I don't know, I kind of have to stretch, but I love all of this stuff. So now I need to start really utilizing it, right, in my journals. Look at the butterfly, flower. I think there might have been two of those, yes, that are very similar. I think this is the back. There we go. Yeah, pretty, right? Someone spent a lot of time on these, and you can tell when they're really nice because it's almost hard to tell the front from the back. Cuteness. Love all the color. So none of this has been washed yet, but oh, and then I got into these. Look. Oh. Someone had already quilted this. Wouldn't this be fun as part of a journal cover, or I don't know. Just so many ideas. I have to really just start crafting now that I have this huge stash. And that's also one of the reasons I am trying to get some of this into y'all's hands too. Again, tell me what you think as far as things you might like to see. I can definitely do samplers where, here's another one of these, where the price goes up. But a lot of these, depending on the piece, were a few dollars each. Some were, you know, $5. Some were like this piece here, because both ends are embroidered. Some of them, you know, were 7 or 8. It just depended. But I can't really, I haven't had luck finding things like this close to home, you know, close to home. And so, yeah, excited to get my hands on some. Now, this was a find that I got so excited about, because you guys know I've talked to y'all about the roosters with my mom. So it's 2 valances, and there's 1, 2, and some flowers, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 roosters on each. So I envision cutting these up and, I don't know, doing something spectacular with these roosters. I'm thinking a cover for a fall journal where I even could like stitch around one of the roosters. I'm so excited. So couldn't pass those up, right? Okay. I think the other thing is I have to not forget what all I have, right? This is, it says bed skirt remnants and eyelet. And again, this one caught my eye because the color of the fabric and eyelet is different. It's not like white. And I even like this fabric. So yeah, this is going to be fun to craft with. I'll set that aside. What was in this bag? Ooh, fall, like ribbon. I don't know how much. I don't think there's like hardly any on here. I guess there's more than I thought. Well, that's it. But yeah, and it's like that paper consistency. Very interesting. But I love these leaves. And this one was $1. So I probably should have looked at it a little more closely to see how much was on there. Okay, these, again, I said I wasn't buying buttons. And then I found these. And these were $5, but they are glass buttons. It says they're from made in Western Germany. And then look. So these, there's 3 cards that have, and to me it almost looks like little Christmas trees. It's basically green triangles. And then these red ones. I fell in love. So I thought for $5, they were special, right? They were definitely in that category of special. So they came home with me. Okay, let me get this out of the way and see what else I have to show you guys. Oh, I didn't even get everything out of this bag. Okay. Let's see. I think I threw things back in. I was going to throw all of this in there. Okay. This is what I threw in there. We already looked at that. Let's see. Okay. A few more buttons, maybe not as special. Sometimes when I bought things, though, especially, you know, at the flea market, people would say, well, here, just take this too. That kind of thing. So that did happen to me. These I found at a place in Hillsville, and I believe it was called The Barn. And they had these cards with the buckles. I was thinking for some closures on journals, so I got a couple of those. But these were each like 25 cents. The prices were crazy there. Here is a bag of buttons. Again, it had brighter colors. A lot of the ones I have are definitely in the neutrals, which is great. It was hard to pass up. I know I don't need more buttons, you guys. All right, this looks like some different like costume jewelry, but that I thought might be fun. It looks like it was a necklace, right? To use as some dangles. And it looks like there's an earring stuck in here. So some people had just like trays and trays of costume jewelry that you could like just pick through. But see, that would be a fun dangle. And that's where if you decide to do something like this, bring some hand sanitizer, because you can't always, get to the bathroom to wash your hands. But, there's a lot of people digging through this stuff. I got this cross that I think I could leave, or I'm sure it will polish up. It looks like it would definitely get a nice shine on it. I thought those would be fun, like in the center of, of a little piece of ribbon, lace, flower, something like that. And that just said hope on there. And again, I think these were like, you could pick 4 bags for $1 or something. And these two caught my eye. Again, something a little different. And this would be fun to make some of those larger kind of journaling cards and stuff, and then add dangles and clusters too. But yeah, I mean, they're earrings, which I'm not going to wear them as earrings, but I definitely could see myself adding it to a tassel or something. Funness. And these are similar beaded earrings, but in a fun green color. As you're watching, if you see something that you're like, oh my gosh, I just love that, drop me a comment, let me know, because then when I have the opportunity, I'm gonna have to just tear this one, to go thrifting and flea markets and garage sales, if I know people really like something, then I can, look for those items and then hopefully try to have those for you guys, in my shop and stuff. So let me know. I'm going to keep this one out for now. Some lace, trim, and binding. So those were good colors. I was thinking the black and this taupe. I mean, we've got Halloween. And then this whole stack, some of it's bias tape, some of it is lace, was $1. And I think, yeah, these were $1 as well. But I thought the whole thing, right? $1. So that was exciting. Let me put those down in here and I'll sort them later. All right. And then let's see. Let's do this bag because I got some things that were a little different. This was exciting. Set this down here out of the way. Look at the size of this. Okay, so this is a ledger book from a small grocery store in North Carolina. The lady was telling me about it. And it started on January 18th of 1952 on page 1. And every page is written on. And I thought, oh my gosh, this must just be years and years and years, right? Wrong. They dated the top of each page. But look, it only went through this back page. Didn't get finished. April 8th of 1952. So it was only a few months. And they wrote down every transaction. And it looks like, put the person's name. So M.E. Odell. And what they bought. So like one Peter Pan, I'm assuming peanut butter, $3.90. 1 cup, it looks like beef, $5. No idea. 3 canned, $4.79. The whole total for all of these items was $50.62. This person, it's hard to read the handwriting, spent $18.94. They got cheese for 90 cents. They got something that looks like pickle, maybe for 93 cents. Yeah. Tomatoes, $3.70. Yeah. I don't know. Here's like, I don't know what the stamp meant here. And some of them have the red slashes through. Maybe that's when they reconciled. I guess they all do. And I just wasn't noticing the red slash. They did a little bit of math on the cover. Anyway, I was so intrigued. And I love the size of it. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with it. Let me know if you guys have ideas. But that, to me, was a treasure. Okay. Then I got into this thing with this man. No, in his booth, and he was wanting to make a deal, so we made a deal, and I spent a big chunk of my money, but that was okay because I have some treasures here. And we won't look at every little piece, I promise, but I have some fun postcards, fun stamps. Some are written on, some are not. And most of these are people that live, well, this one's Pennsylvania. There was like a bunch of Virginia. But look at these photos. I just, you know, I guess we don't have a lot of photos like this anymore, like current day, because everything's on like our phone, right? It's all digital. And so I guess in future generations, they won't go to flea markets and dig through someone else's old family photos and negatives. Look at that. It's two ladies by a car, two girls. So anyway, it was hard to pass up. I'm probably going to scan some of these. I have another kit in my shop that has like some old family photos. And I know some people don't like to work with pictures of people that they don't know or, you know, are part of their family. But some people do like to. And I like to. I like to add fun quotes. There's some negatives. I may have my daughter look at these. Look, somebody loved their pup. But yeah, I may scan some of these and do another type of paper kit. The one that I did previously was one of my first kits. I love that she's standing there by the station wagon holding her dog. So it's been a while, and maybe, you know, do something a little different with it. I don't know. But that's kind of that. And I mean, like, even that would be just a fun embellishment, wouldn't it? Cut those up like a fussy cut of some sort. But yeah, it would be fun. All right. Lots of photos. This one, look. I love it. And most of them don't have anything written on the back, so I don't really know, except just guessing time frame. He's in, it looks like a Navy uniform. But yeah. Ooh, I loved this. I have no idea. I've never heard of this before, but there's this beautiful lady, and it says, cigars, cheroots, and cigarettes. One of these imperial cards given with each package of our cheroots. So I guess, and then it lists the different ladies, right? And this is Sadie Martineau. I guess it was a collectible thing when you bought tobacco, which is just crazy, right? That one's torn. Someone's sweet baby. But yeah, just quite a few photos. Some, to me, are very interesting. All right, so portraits, weddings. Look, cutie pie. All right, so much fun. And so I'm going to sort through all of this. There's a few that are more recent, but most are older. And it's not all photos. I'm digging through here. Wow, and look at these. Like, you can see the silver on the paper. So, again, some of these, especially some of the older ones and the negatives, my daughter's a photographer. I'm probably going to have her look at them with me and see what she thinks. Because she does archival work, and so she may have some thoughts too. Okay, babies. Ugh. And I just love when people have pictures of their pets, because, like, we all do that, right? Look at those pretty ladies. Okay, I promised we weren't going to look at everything. Now, in this envelope, this, he wrote on here, and I just thought this was so sweet. It says, "You can see how I long for you. All I need is you. How about it?" It says, South Park, June 6, 1942. To my Alice, with love and devotion, always your Michael. Love it. So there's Michael. And I guess that was his way of saying, let's be together, right? And this was, okay, and here's Michael again, and this was with Michael. So I'm wondering if this is Alice. I'm hoping it is. I don't know. but there they are. So in my mind, I have Michael and Alice together. And then these others, I think it's just too hard for me to pick through and find out. Just getting a trophy. Yeah, so there we go. That was kind of special too. And then these, look at these. So they're from the Salter Canning Company, and they're just a whole bunch of these vintage receipts. And some of them, like this, when it went through the bank, you know, it embossed. It says not over $6. So I don't know why that was important. This one's not over $20. Not over $10. Very interesting. Or maybe that was the way the canning company made sure no one edited the check or something. Not over $4. So anyway, these are fascinating. They're dated. Gosh, this looks like 1915. Seriously, could they be that old? Is that a 1? It has to be, because this is a 1, right? Look. So these are from 1915. That's crazy. Okay, so I have a whole pile of those, and we're gonna have to think of something or how to incorporate those into a real vintagey journal, right? Okay, let me get this a little bit out of my way. And we'll see what else we have in the pile and to look at. All right, we'll set that there for now. So then I got into, here's another book. But look at the images. So when I say another book, another car kind of paraphernalia. So this, though, really looked fascinating to me. Look at that. The new Hillman Minx. I have no idea. The new Hillman holds the road like a magnet. New suspension, lower center of gravity combined to give a smoother, stable luxury ride that is safer too. Oh my goodness, and it opens up. Oh look, it was a, look, it says the ideal car for your European vacation. Go to Europe with your car in your pocket. I have no idea how you do that. It says, Roots Groups are the oldest, most experienced organization in delivery of cars to Americans visiting Britain, Europe for vacation business. Our offices in New York, LA, San Francisco, or any Hillman dealer will give you full information on our most comprehensive overseas delivery plan. Wow, that's wild. Anyway, I just loved this. Again, not quite sure where that's going to end up. History of the American flag. Fine Country Land, some more hymn sheet music. These were all at that place called The Barn, and the prices, like most of these, like this was $2. Most of these were $2. This was $1.50. You know, it just kind of depended, but they were some really good prices. And this is Elk Hill on James River in Virginia. So I think it's about a home. You can see the images. I'm not going to take it out right now. So much to play with, and some things I need to just kind of look up and decide, you know, what is it that I have. I'm sorry that I keep hitting the camera. These haul videos are a little challenging for me sometimes. Ooh. But let me know if you like this, and I get a lot of requests for it. But it's sometimes just hard to tell, right? Like what people like and what they want. I think all I have left is this bag of ribbon. All right, I think I got most things. So this is very similar to the first bag I sorted through. Some of the colors are definitely going to stretch me. Some are going to be perfect for Christmas. And wow, for me to do some more ribbon samplers. So with all this Christmas themed ribbon, and some of it's very vintage. Look at that. Waterproof polypropylene. I guess this is what you would do one of those. Look at that, there's a lot. Those really big Christmas bows on. A lot of gold, green. That's just curling ribbon. yeah, just a lot of pretty things. I think this is the one I may have pulled out the other day. Love that. Where the paper doily ribbon was in. I think it was in this bag. So maybe a Christmas ribbon sampler for Christmas journaling and craft making. Wow, that's something I've never seen. Shape and Stay wire edge. It's called ribbon. It was made in Mexico. Wow, it definitely has some sound to it, and it is a bright green. So this is pretty much, curling ribbon, pretty much what I ended up with. And I definitely had fun. I love digging through stuff and seeing what I can find and spending time. This is so pretty with my husband. So we had a great time, and we'll certainly, like I said, I'm going to have to really think about how to get some of these things out of my craft room and into y'all's hands if you're interested, or I'll have to stop shopping. So anyway, I had fun. If you want to, go check out the new samplers. If I have time soon-ish, I will definitely get some other ribbon samplers in there for you guys. But drop me a comment. Let me know what you liked and what you're thinking. And yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks for taking time to watch. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day.